right, here we go. Welcome into the San Francisco 49ers Report. My name is Chase Sr., and we have a loaded show coming your way. And if you're a Niner fan who wants San Francisco to hire Robert Saleh as their next defensive coordinator to take over for Nick Sorensen, some massive news on this Thursday night, as it is January 23rd. We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more. So coming up, some good news for those also who want to keep Dre Greenlaw in NFL free agency. Some bad news for those of you who want to see the Niners retain safety Talanoa Hufanga. Could Deebo Samuel get traded this offseason? We're going to talk about some teams who are rumored to potentially be suitors for him and the latest on Robert Saleh. And I want to start there because this is huge. But first, you know what I need you to do? Go on down, hit that subscribe button. You see it right there. If you want Niners videos every single day year-round and you want to stay in the know with all of the talk around San Francisco, news, rumors, analysis, consistency, lock us in, hit that subscribe button, approaching 156,000 subs, and I will not disappoint you with my coverage of the Niners right here on the San Francisco 49ers Report by Chat Sports. So this is a wow moment. And for those of you who cover the NFL closely, this is a this league type of development because this is pretty crazy. Buccaneers offensive coordinator Liam Coen has done a U-turn. He backed out of the running of the Jaguars job this week. The Buccaneers then offered him a massive deal to stay on as the team's offensive coordinator. Easy to see why. Baker Mayfield had a career year this year, career high in touchdowns, career high in passing yards. He completed 70% of his passes. Coen was a reason for that. He stepped in and called this offense following Dave Canales, who did a great job last year resurrecting the career of Baker Mayfield. And then Canales goes on to Carolina to become their next head coach, and he revives Bryce Young and brings him back to life. And for Coen, impressive track record here. What he did in 2024 with Baker, what he did under Sean McVay as an offensive coordinator with the Los Angeles Rams, what he did at Kentucky in maximizing Will Levis. But he didn't want to take that Jags head coaching job because Trent Baalke was the team's general manager. He was a holdover from previously. And if you're Liam Coen, he's under 40 years old. He knows what a good operation is like. Worked under Mark Stoops at Kentucky. Worked under Sean McVay with the Los Angeles Rams. Why does he want to go work for an iffy bad owner in Shad Kahn and be tied to Trent Baalke, knowing that Trent Baalke is a dead man walking? He could get fired at any moment, and then that impacts the job security of Liam Coen. So I had said yesterday right here on this show that Jags are a joke. What is Shad Kahn doing? You know what's funny? Him firing Trent Baalke has now led him back to Liam Coen, one of the top offensive minds in this coaching cycle outside of Ben Johnson, and now Liam Coen is on the verge to become the Jaguars head coach to try to get Trevor Lawrence back on track, the same that he's done with Baker Mayfield and Will Levis. And obviously this has a massive impact on Robert Saleh, who is expected to have his second interview at Jacksonville on Friday. And so what happened after Coen had backed out of the Jags job, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers offered him a massive deal to stay on as the team's offensive coordinator. But he did not sign that deal. So the Jags then fired Trent Baalke, former Niners front office executive. And because the Jags fired Trent Baalke, Liam Coen is back in the mix. Rick Stroud does a great job covering the Buccaneers with this on X. Liam Coen has reversed course and is on the verge of becoming the Jaguars' next head coach after telling the Bucs he was returning to Tampa Bay. Coen had not spoken to the Bucs since yesterday afternoon. They tried to reach him and have been unable to. Instead of signing his contract, which was a formality, he secretly traveled to Jacksonville to meet with Jags owner Shad Kahn. To be clear, the Liam Coen situation, he contacted head coach Todd Bowles around 5 p.m. on Thursday, not long ago, and he said that he had been with one of his kids who had taken ill at a doctor's office. He mentioned the Jags situation only briefly, saying he wanted to look back into it. Diana Rossini, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been operating as if Coen was returning as the OC after offering him a hefty deal. The contract was never signed, and the Bucs were not informed that he spent the day in Jacksonville meeting to become the next head coach. There are also Niners ties to all of this. Ethan Wall, who was with the Niners for nearly 2 decades, is serving as the Jags interim GM. And he may have helped out his former team by successfully re-engaging in these talks with Liam Coen, which could now lead Robert Saleh to become the next defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. With Coen leaving, Saleh was looked at as one of the favorites, if not the favorite, to land that Jags job. And I don't think he's going to get the Raiders head coaching job, and the Raiders are now honing in on Pete Carroll, who the Niners have talked about as becoming the next defensive coordinator. Again, I circle back to the 2 words that I mentioned earlier, this league. Highly entertaining. Things can change in a blink, in a breath. And it looked as though maybe the Niners were going to get Saleh because Coen was expected to be offered the job from Jacksonville. Then he backed out. Saleh becomes a favorite. Second interview on Friday. Coen does a U-turn. He's expected to become the next head coach of the Jags, which now could open up the opportunity for the Niners to make Robert Saleh the highest paid defensive coordinator in the sport. Fascinating, fascinating stuff. So much more to get to here on the show, but let me tell you about our friends at Prize Picks, the best daily fantasy sports app in the game. More than 10 million active members, billions of dollars handed out in awarded winnings, and there are only 3 football games left. Take advantage by getting involved with Prize Picks. Download the app, create an account, use the code CLNS, and when you do that and you play $5, you get $50 instantly. You don't even need to win to receive that $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. You can also win up to 1,000 times your money. There is a special for championship weekend. Jaden Daniels, more than a half passing yard. He's going to throw for more than a half passing yard. So you win that, and you win one more square. There you go. That's a victory right there. And Prize Picks giving away specials and huge deals. So prizepicks.com/CLNS. Download the app, create an account, use that code, and get involved today with the best daily fantasy sports app in the game. All right. So for me, in talking about football, I love team building. I love team strategy. I love player evaluation and scouting on top of the X's and O's, general storylines of the NFL. And if you've been watching the show for a long time, I like to do what I think the best broadcasters do, make you think a little bit with analysis, takes, and opinions. And as far as team building strategy goes, I'm very interested to see what the Niners do this offseason. And if you're with me and you're excited for this Niners offseason, I want you to hit that thumbs up icon and like the video. That serves as a segue for what we're talking about right now. Pro Football Focus put out a list of the top 100 free agents. Some notable Niners are on there. Let's start with Dre Greenlaw. Dre Greenlaw, projected contract according to PFF. He's in the top 15, I believe, of the top 100 list. 1 year, $6 million. $5 million in guaranteed money. And here's what PFF had to say about Greenlaw. Worked his way back from the Achilles injury that he suffered in the Super Bowl, shut down after 34 snaps in 2024. He will still likely see a lot of interest in free agency, excels in coverage, having earned PFF coverage grades of 82.6 and 79.5 over the past 2 years. If that is Greenlaw's market, that'll be a steal for San Francisco. I'd do that deal immediately. For Talanoa Hufanga, 2 years, $12.5 million average salary per year, $16 million in guaranteed money, $25 million total. PFF, a 5th-round pick in 2021, Hufanga earned Pro Football Focus coverage grades above 65 in 2022 and 2023, played 308 snaps only in 2024 due to injury, career low, 57.8 PFF grade. I love Hufanga as a player, 12.5 per year with the injuries. It's a little bit pricey, but I'd like to bring him back if it's cheaper. Aaron Banks, projected contract, $8.5 million per year. I think the Niners can draft a guard who is better and cheaper by far. $15 million in guaranteed money is the contract projection from PFF. And PFF with the write-up here, former second-round pick showed steady growth over his 4-year rookie deal, though he never eclipsed 90% of snaps in a season at a position where you'd like to play as close to 100% as possible. He moves very well in the ground game. Most attractive to the Niners in the first place, but still has room to grow in the pass protection phase. He can. Didn't play well enough in a contract year. $8.5 million per season. I'm just not doing it. Now, Landon Dickerson for the Eagles makes like $21 million per year. So 8.5 is good value, but I think you can get a better player for a lower price tag. Let's go to some Deebo Samuel trade rumors. I want to expand on this in a future video, but this is interesting stuff. Bleacher Report listing him as a player who the Niners could trade for, and Bleacher Report with a write-up here that Deebo stands out as a trade candidate on the Niners' aging and injury-prone roster. 1 year left on the 3-year, $73.5 million contract that he signed in 2022, with a huge extension on the horizon for Brock Purdy. Other foundational pieces such as George Kittle, Dre Greenlaw needing new deals soon, along with a recent long-term commitment to top wideout Brandon Ayuk. The Niners could look to deal Deebo for cap relief. I've been talking about this the last 2 years. And while Deebo has become a critical component to Kyle Shanahan's offense, it's always better to move on too early as compared to too late. Bleacher Report saying teams like the Washington Commanders and Pittsburgh Steelers, 2 playoff teams with a notable lack of pass-catching depth, might be willing to pay a premium for Deebo. He'd be an ideal addition to any contender's receiving corps as a big-time playmaker who could help out with the Super Bowl push. He could do that. New team, gets motivated, better shape. Injury luck is on his side. He's been an every other year type of player. I do believe in Deebo still. But on this Niners team, I think the receiving core is good enough. If Ayuk can come back, you move off of him for the final year of his contract. Another team takes that deal on. And that is a part of the resetting phase for San Francisco this offseason. Hasn't had a 1,000-yard season since 2021, and that's the only year he was over 1,000 yards. New England Patriots also being mentioned as a potential option for Deebo, that coming from the Boston Herald. So some Niners talk late on this Thursday. Robert Saleh, free agents for the Niners. This Saleh thing, it could really heat up over the next couple of days. Don't forget to subscribe. Appreciate everybody for supporting the show. Going live with Larry Krueger Friday on his YouTube channel. Be on the lookout for that. And then continuous Niners coverage right here on the Niners Report.